Hello, CrossFit Linchpin. Monday, June 17th, 2019. Welcome to everybody old and new. Before we start today, I don't know if this will become a new Monday tradition, but I just want to set the scene. We've got a lot of veterans that have been around Linchpin for a long time. You all know what we do, why we do it, but every week we have new folks showing up, and I want to make sure everyone just kind of knows what we're all about. If you haven't, on our website, CrossFitLinchpin.com, there's a little tab that says About Us. You should go ahead and click on that and check it out, but I'm going to read you the top part right now so that you can kind of get a sense of what it is. So here it is. Hello and welcome to CrossFit Linchpin. We are a global community of amazingly positive and supportive people dedicated to making themselves better every day through functional movements, variance, and relative intensity. Linchpin does not have a strength bias. We do not have a gymnastics bias, nor do we have a conditioning bias. We have a long-term health and fitness bias. We train in a manner designed to keep you happy, healthy, and your quality of life as high as possible, whether you are 25 or 65 years old. A key element of how we do this is by not overtraining you. We pour our heart and soul into one workout a day, and the rewards are tremendous. In my humble opinion, far too many people have fallen into the more is better trap and are exposing themselves to an unnecessary and potentially injurious amount of training. Or they believe the fallacy that before every workout you should do a heavy lifting session. That is not an effective manner to develop fitness or to stay healthy, and therefore it's not what we do. At Linchpin, we embrace intensity over volume. We embrace variance. We want you to be well-rounded. We remove ego, and that helps us make smart decisions. We understand that scaling is not a bad word. As a matter of fact, intelligent scaling or modifying a workout is not only a critical factor for safety, but it is also a necessary and essential part of your long-term fitness journey. Long story short, we encourage scaling. Scaling is cool. We give heavy days the respect that they deserve. On those days, we just go heavy. There's no other workout crammed in. That way we don't rush it. We focus on doing it right and we reap the benefits. The time you spend working out in the garage or your gym should be one of the best hours of your day. It should not be stressful, it should be fun, and you should look forward to it. If you want to get fit, have fun, and be supported by an incredible global community focused on long-term health and happiness, then welcome to CrossFit Linchpin. And there's a little bit more after that about my background, but we don't need to get into that right now. So, that's what we're all about. And I hope that fits your goals really well. It's been a heck of a journey, and I'm proud to have everyone along. And with that being said, let's dive into Monday. So today, Monday, June 17th, going heavy. And like I just said there, that's all we're going to do. So CrossFit Linchpin is not a conditioning program, it's a strength and conditioning program. You're gonna get strong, you're gonna get gymnasty, you're gonna build an engine, and you're gonna do it all at the same time. 7 sets of 1 clean and jerk, so we're going heavy. And for most folks to get the most weight up on the clean and then the most weight overhead, most people will do the full clean or the squat clean followed by a split jerk. If you're more comfortable with the push jerk, by all means get after it, but it's more demanding of accuracy, it's more demanding of flexibility, and just for those reasons, most people will have more success with the split jerk. But it's shooter's choice. We've got a video showing you the full clean and the split jerk, and a video showing you the full clean and the push jerk. If you're unfamiliar with those or just want to buff up the technique a little bit. After you do your warm-up, you're not ready to just jump into your first heavy single. After the warm-up, you need to then start building up your warm-up weights, and those 7 sets of 1 should be considered your working weights. And so full body warm-up, build up the warm-up weights, then do the working weights. And you can do this in a number of ways. You can try to hold the same loading for all sets, 7 singles, or you can stair-step it up and then back down. You can try to PR sometime in there. It doesn't matter. This is just a heavy day. It's not necessarily a PR day. If a PR happens, great. If it doesn't, irrelevant. Today's day in our cycle of programming is just a day that we need to expose ourselves to heavy loading relative to whatever your capacity is. And in doing that, good things will happen when we do it consistently. I would want to make sure somebody rested at least 2 minutes between each one of those heavy singles. If you like to rest a little more, great, but don't shortchange the rest. Sometimes CrossFitters can be always in that mindset of do everything fast, for time. That has its place, but today is not really one of those days. Super Fitness Robot goal for this, I should say, if you're holding 85% or higher for your one rep on those sets of 7, that's impressive. More likely, as I think most people will be around 70% or higher for their 1 rep. You can go as high as you're comfortable going. It should be challenging. And when you should start counting a set as your working set and not your warm-up set anymore, it's different for each person. You can use those percentages as guidelines if you like, but regardless of how your body feels that day, whatever you decide to have as your any working set, it just needs to be a challenging loading. If it's not challenging, it's probably still a warm-up set. Scaled option today, still the clean and jerk, but focus on technique, not loading. Everybody should focus on technique, but certainly if you're a beginner, really want to focus on technique and not loading. And potentially, if you're new to this, the full clean might be a bit challenging still. No worries. You could, for the scaled option, you could turn this into a power clean and jerk. You could do a power clean and split jerk, and if the split jerk was still a bit challenging, you could do a power clean into a push press, and you're still going to get everything that you need out of this. Limited equipment option. So for the limited equipment option, anyone unfamiliar with this, limited equipment option assumes you don't have a bunch of fancy gear, you don't have a barbell. What you do have is a pull-up bar bolted to the wall or over your door. You've got a set of rings, gymnastics rings, hanging from that pull-up bar, so they're not mounted to the ceiling, they're low rings. You've got a pair of dumbbells and a jump rope, and we usually figure a pair of 50-pound dumbbells for the men and a pair of 35-pound dumbbells for the women, because that's what most people added to their collection when dumbbells started to make an appearance in the open a few years ago. So, with that being said, the limited equipment option today. It's a heavy day, but assuming that you don't have a barbell. So here's what we're going to do. These are great days and challenging. Single leg, stiff-legged deadlifts, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps per leg. Single arm dumbbell rows, 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps per arm. Dumbbell hammer curl into shoulder press, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Bulgarian split squats, 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps per leg. And then 40 dumbbell clean and jerks. That's power clean and jerks with a pair of 50s or a pair of 35s. 40 reps in as few sets as possible. That's a full day of fun and activities. And then we have videos down the bottom in case you're unfamiliar with the stiff-legged deadlifts, the bent over row, the Bulgarian split squats, or the dumbbell power clean and jerk. Got them all there for you. Accessory work for the day. Optional as always. You're going to hear me say that a lot because it is just that. Accessory work is optional. You can go your whole life and be wonderfully fit and never do a lick of accessory work. If you do choose to do it, please tread lightly if you're new to it. Cut down the reps, scale it as needed, and just dip your toe into the water and then increase it gradually to make sure that you don't overdo it, because the accessory work, it's no joke. It will dose you up if you're uninitiated to it. And the accessory work, if you're ready for it, it should be beneficial and additive to your life. If it's just leaving you, if it's too much for you, and it's leaving you overtrained and tired, and then you show up to the next day and you can't perform the workout with intensity, well then you're regressing, you're not progressing. So that's not what we want to have happen. So again, crawl, walk, run with the optional accessory work. And we do a lot of gut work in there. L-sit, accumulate 1 to 2 minutes. We have a video of that. And barbell glute bridges, 3 sets of 5 to 10 repetitions of that movement. Cool down and stretching. We started offering cool down and stretching on each day, and the world is full of different ways to increase your flexibility. Some of them are effective, and some of them are just flashy and weird and overly complicated, and that's how they suck you in. But I'm offering, in general, a lower body stretch and an upper body stretch each day that's just time tested. It's not flashy, but it works really well when applied consistently. And this is just a baseline if you're unfamiliar with what you should do to stretch. A great place to start. You can feel free to add to it. And over the course of a couple weeks, you'll get exposure to some different stretches in there, and you might find that there's a few that you should really embrace more than others. And that's just gonna be a personal deal. But the cool down for 5 to 15 minutes, casual walking, jogging, biking, rowing, whatever you can do. If you can do 5 minutes, great. If you can do 15 minutes, even better. Then we're gonna stretch. Get the glute stretch, gonna hold that for 1 to 2 minutes per side. We have a video of that. And then we're gonna hit the foam roller on the back, potentially the entire body if you have some time. We have a video of that as well. And I'll tell you, for me personally, the wall stretch, and it'll come up here in a few days, that's one that I do almost every single solitary day because I have tight hip flexors, and it's one of the ones I notice without a doubt. When I do it more frequently, I feel better head to toe, and so it's just something that works into my life. So if you try these, you'll probably find one that you should embrace more than something else. So that's it. Great Monday, great start to the day. Thanks for being along. Let's get to Tuesday.